What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. Today we're going to talk Johnathan Majors and Meaghan Good. So Atlanta Black Star has done an article, and I used to watch Atlanta Black Star's, website, blog, stuff they had on social media back in the day. Absolutely. And I used to like little videos now, and video can do that now. But they got a good little website, even though it is, gynocentric, as most of these like blogs and stuff is. So you also got to kind of read between the lines with a lot of stuff. But anyway, they're talking Johnathan Majors. So basically, Meaghan Good's friends do not know what Meaghan Good sees in Johnathan Majors, which is, and I want to really talk about this because this is something that in black female social media, they have been constantly digging at Johnathan Majors about why Meaghan Good is with him and Meaghan Good is better than him. And I'm just gonna keep it real. This is why a lot of y'all stay single, and this is why a lot of y'all stay unkept. This is why a lot of y'all are in the situations y'all in, because quite frankly, you all are gameless when it comes to the dynamics of relationships, and you all don't understand the strategery, as George W. Bush said, as to why Meaghan Good would be dealing with a Johnathan Majors, or they like to pretend they don't. I swear, black people, a lot of these chicks, their entire identity is like hating black men and hating on black men. It's actually interesting the level of energy a lot of these chicks, and I'm not even necessarily just talking about content creators, but I'm talking about how much these women are willing to invest their time and mental energy in this phone as far as hating on a guy. And it's something about Johnathan Majors that really bothers black women, and I think personally it's that a lot of these chicks like to act like they're not colorists. A lot of these chicks like to act like they're not featurists. They like to act like they're victims of this. But the thing is, Johnathan Majors has, black quote-unquote features, and that bothers them. And they need to really be honest about that in regarding to him. But it's always something they're going to hate on a black man for, whether it's Johnathan Majors, Jonathan Owens, Simone Biles' husband, you get it. So, that's been a thing. And also, DDG is another guy. That's a video for another day. But DDG is another guy. Like, whenever these black women are with black men, for some reason, black women hate on these dudes. Unless it's a rapper. Or like a rapper or they just always are hating on these dudes. It doesn't matter how they look, the money they have, whatever. But let's jump right into it. So Atlanta Black Star says that women, Meaghan Good's friends don't understand why what she sees in Johnathan Majors. So and to be fair too, Johnathan Majors has his fans as far as black women. Johnathan Majors has a lot of black women fans. I don't understand, so a lot of these chicks that hate on him are very loud. There's a lot of black women that like to see him with a black woman. And, Johnathan Majors, I do believe, will make a comeback because everybody knows he got railroaded. Everybody saw the video. There is nothing out there. Everybody knows what that chick is on. Everybody knows he's got railroaded. I may give my thoughts at the end of the video as far as how I think he should come back to kind of speed that up. I do believe he will owe Meaghan Good. And I believe it works for both of them. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. But let's dive into the kind of particulars of this relationship. So first of all, let's be real. Meaghan Good came out of a marriage with the guy that she was married. I'm blanking on the name. I'll put it in the caption below and a picture. Y'all can put it in the comment section as well. And that was a 10-year relationship. And basically, she went in there 29 or 30, 31, came out 40, 41. She left because obviously she is a product of Hollywood, not a product of the black church. And that just wasn't her. It was never her. And that relationship ended the best way it could, I guess. So she gets with, she's out here, and then she gets with Johnathan Majors at his lowest. I don't understand why people don't understand this is an investment. Does she like him? Sure. Yes. She probably likes how he looks. She probably likes who he is. Because I don't think you do this on somebody you don't want to deal with. You don't have the ability to deal with. Johnathan Majors can miss me with that crying, like for real. But that's another topic. So I do believe she likes him. And you don't make this kind of investment if you don't. She's investing in him, and she knows what the payoff can be if he gets back on. And when you look at what happened, I do believe he can get back on. And I believe she believes that. And I believe that will help her career. And what else is she going to be out here doing? I mean, you know, Meaghan Good, it's known, even though Meaghan Good kind of kept it under wraps better than others, that, you know, she got around. She got around. We can call her a free spirit, but she got around. And part of how she got into the marriage with the guy that she got into a marriage with was for her to kind of, you know, decompress from all of that. That's why she wanted a pastor. And the length of how long that relationship was is, I can say she generally tried. And she told him up front she did not want kids. When he thought he could convince her, he's a fool for believing that. Believe it. Whenever a woman tells you something, believe it. Especially if you're about to commit to marriage. But anyway, that ends. And what is she gonna do? She's gonna go back into that same habit in her 40s. You know, let's be very clear here. That does not end well, generally. Generally, what women tend to do is women tend to spin the block, and then go with the dudes that they were to deal with. With Ashanti, it was either Irv Gotti, who doesn't have the money he used to have, and she don't like him like that. Let's like him really, or Nelly. And she got lucky with Nelly, as Nelly was coming out of a relationship. Nelly is 49, and Nelly is not really Nelly of, oh, well, he's just out here, you just gonna deal with it the way you're gonna deal with it. And you can tell that she knows she's lucky, because think about it, she's like 42, 41, and she had a baby immediately. That tells you she was trying to consummate that relationship. That tells you everything you need to know. That was the same thing that Sierra low-key did with Russell Wilson. People forget about that. And so ultimately, she's making an investment in Johnathan Majors. And if it works out, she's going to get a great payoff. If it doesn't, well, she dealt with a black man when a black man was at his lowest, and it didn't work out. There's really no downside. You talk about paying child support, which, by the way, Johnathan Majors has a black child with a black woman. For all the black women to keep hating on him, he has a black daughter. For all of y'all to keep hating on him, you know, you know, so again, it doesn't matter if you deal with black women or you have a kid with a black woman, they're gonna find a way to hate on you. They just are. And so I don't know why y'all act like it's all these bills that Johnathan Majors incurred, as if Johnathan Majors has these expenses, like all these massive expenses. He don't. And so it's probably the same child support he was paying when he had money, and obviously he's gonna pay her back. So this is an investment. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because Meaghan Good is being a lot more remember, Meaghan Good is childless. Meaghan Good, even though she's in her 40s, she's being very strategic. Johnathan Majors, and by the way, Johnathan Majors is younger than her by like 8 years too. People forget that. This is, so when other women, see, this is what I'm talking about. When others, see, notice how when other women are dealing with dudes that's got a lot of money, and it's very obvious what the value add for the woman is, but the man has a man gets an old womb in his 20s. See, nobody's really got nothing to say, or a whole bunch of women don't really got nothing to say with that. But with men, you know, if it's that way and it's not, and that value add isn't there, they got a problem for some reason. Just know that she can do better. Who? I love when people say, what you know, somebody can do better, because I'm always interested in, okay, cool, give me a list of these potential bachelors, these potential folks that she can do so much better and get? Who should she be with? Give me a list of the top 5, you know, and these articles, these blogs, whether it's Blavity, Bossip, Atlanta Black Star, which is a little bit better than those two. Madam, they never give a list. They never put a list out there just for, you know, ish and giggles. They never put a list out there. They always just leave it real ambiguous because they don't know. And so my thing is, well, maybe it's a producer or whatever. That's not strategically, because she's just not trying to be with somebody. She's trying to reactivate her acting career. So, I mean, I don't know why y'all hating on her and y'all can't help a sister out by helping him out. And shout out to the, you know, sisters that do mess with Johnathan Majors. Shout out to the Black Love sisters. Because, you know, Johnathan Majors clearly appreciates it. And I hope they turn into a very strong couple. Now, I said at the end of the video, if you're here, thank you, I appreciate it, that I was going to talk a little bit about what could they do. Well, let me tell you something. I think Johnathan Majors shouldn't do nothing until, like, he shouldn't have a movie scheduled to come out until mid-2025. It needs to be distance put in between that situation. And personally, what I think that he should do, I think he should jump into a horror movie, kind of a horror thriller movie, something is a little bit more than just a jump scare movie, something that's like a horror suspense thriller, something like The Skeleton Key, something like that. Something, you know, something like that, because it, you know, it allows him to bust his chops with, you know, flex his chops with the kind of Lovecraft Country type stuff, something like that. It kind of allows him to bring that audience in. The audience already messes with Johnathan Majors. These are relatively inexpensive movies you can do. Have Meaghan Good in there. You know, she get a check, you get a check. You know, she gets out there, you get out there. I think she could do a thing with suspense, especially with him carrying it. You could do that. You want to bring the black women in, go ahead and do the interracial thing, but this time it's Meaghan Good dealing with a white man or something like that. A white man, and then you got Johnathan Majors, you know, as the black man. I mean, I normally wouldn't co-sign that, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be the villain, you know, with these chicks. And it's something they definitely see. These are movies you could do very inexpensively. These are movies you can negotiate getting back in on, as well as getting a check. And these are movies that definitely get you out there. They'll definitely get in the box office, and you put them strategically in box offices, in the box office where there's not a lot of stuff out. And I mean, you know, demonstrate that he can definitely draw a box office. Then what Johnathan Majors should be doing is negotiating roles as a support cast. Because the reality is, say what you want to about Johnathan Majors is gonna bring eyeballs to a movie. He will bring eyeballs to a movie. When you look at how much they pay these guys, it like giving Johnathan Majors like $500,000, probably he needs more than that, but that is well worth him campaigning for a movie and the audience that he would bring to see a movie, even women. And a lot of dudes are going to want to support Johnathan Majors, and Johnathan Majors would get really good coverage because people love a comeback story. I mean, people kind of understand why Marvel had to do what they had to do, but Johnathan Majors had a lot going on other than Marvel. And obviously him being tied to her kind of deals with the, well, is he going to get in trouble again over a woman? And that's kind of what I think they're teeing up. Because at the end of the day, outside of Michael B. Jordan, you got Idris Elba, but outside that kind of Michael B. Jordan, Idris, Damson Idris, you don't really have that millennial generation of guys that are going to be those new it dudes. It's only a couple of black men they always let at a time. But, you know, you're seeing Denzel fade out. Samuel L. Jackson will eventually fade out. Within, you know, these people, Morgan Freeman. So, it works. It works. And so, let me know what your thoughts. Do you think, you know, these ideas that I put, do you think they're plausible ideas? The reason why I submitted them is because these are relatively inexpensive movies to make. Do you think that Meaghan Good can do better than Johnathan Majors? If you do, please give me some names. I don't just want to hear that that she could do better. I want names. Do you think Johnathan Majors needs her at all? Do you think he can make his career back without her? Do you think she's just gold digging and she's and she can't do it on her own, which is why she's dealing with you? Let me know. Make sure you like this video, share this video. This video is definitely shareable, and make sure you subscribe if you're new. Much appreciated. You know, we keep it real even when it hurts. You know, lives, Patreon, all that good jazz. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.